All right. So, today we're gonna be doing OE2. I am gonna refresh this actually, cause um, give me just a second, so that you guys can see from the get-go what I see. So when you go into the game right now, it's web browser based only. It's still in testing phases. Um, I'm going to assume that this start page is pretty much what you'll see whether you log in from the download, from the web browser, from the phone when it's released. Um, and I guess it's possible you'll get to hear tornado sirens in the background. I apologize, because I chose the first Wednesday of the month to record this. So you have your character selection screen. This is where you can have lures. Am I correct? 2 characters is what they normally allow once the game
Yeah.
goes live.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Just 2
So
characters.
you can have 2 characters and select between the 2. There's there will be things in place to prevent the bots. So we won't have the same thing that you see in Eve and Second Galaxy, where a bot army will appear out of nowhere. Um, the biggest difference when you go to log out, I don't know how long it is in Eve, but in Second Galaxy, it's only a few seconds. It's like 30 seconds between logging out and your ship disappearing. Right now in Outer Empires, if you log out, it's still 5 minutes,
Yeah.
which is quite a bit of time for a ship to just be destroyed. So you will definitely
Mhm.
want to take that into consideration. From talks with the devs, we are not seeing that change length of time, if I understand it correctly. Now, I say that, but you never know what may come in future patches. It may be something that they don't think of right now, but then see a problem with it being in the future and decide to shorten the length of time in the future. So that's the character selection screen. If you go over to the news and patches, you can see all of the different things that have come up and everything that has been added. Now, Lores has been amazing with keeping our updates moved over to Discord from the testing. Before the testing phase ends, we will make sure that all of the updates in the patch notes are moved in there as well, just as a fail safe, so that we can see where things have built, things that have changed. Also, if frustrations amount later in the game, which I am sure will, when you think that
Mhm.
things are not changing, we can show, hey, look, the devs do listen to our feedback. These are things that have been implemented because we've asked for them. So, um, you can also see the game status right now. You can see that everything is running normally. Now, I say that,
Mm.
but we'll see if the game will do what it normally does for me. Um, Again, this is alpha testing, so there's a lot of bugs still in this game. And one of the main bugs is when you try to jump, it will occasionally kick you out of the game. So we'll see if I will log one of those bugs. We are keeping track of it. The devs are keeping track of it. So we can kind of see what's causing it. Honestly, personally, I think that it's because it's a web browser based game only and the resources get clogged, and that's what's causing it. So that is just my personal opinion. The settings you can access before you get into the game. You can also access inside the game. I prefer to have my volume down pretty low. In all honesty, the volume, the sound settings are still extremely buggy. They'll work for a while, and then I will no longer hear them until I restart the game. So that's another thing. Again, alpha testing. So these are all things that may change. once the game goes live. It may be something that they can't even figure out exactly what's causing it until the game goes live. So that's big thing. Settings that you do not want to ever change. Do not ever disable pre-jump refuel warning. Okay.
Mm-hmm. We won't talk about it. Yes, we will. I guarantee you, every single person will make this mistake at once. It's a known fact. Everybody giggles about it, of course, but you have to learn your distance in terms of how much fuel you have and where you can actually go. If you don't have a green on your route map and you're yellow, guaranteed you're not going to make the destination. So either you have someone who has a fuel, your passage fuel with you, or near the end of your location where you're supposed to be going, so they can boost you up. You not have fuel cells yet in the game where you can carry it in your cargo. That's something I'm pushing for, which was in OE1. But for now, all we can do is advance our fuel capacity and do proper plotting for navigation. And back to you.
And then
Birdie.
on top of that, we have, just like in Second Galaxy and Eve, there are different piloting styles, different piloting jobs. While there is not an alliance, we'll discuss that here in a minute. There's not an alliance in Corps like there is in Eve or Second Galaxy. There are factions, and factions can be quite large. There's not like the same cutoff as corporations in the other space MMO games, so you can have a lot more. But we will operate ours very similar to the way we did in Second Galaxy, which is where we kind of see what type of piloting style you guys like. We will suggest that you try out a few things, or at least learn about the different pilots when we'll do, classes on the different types of piloting styles and what we're looking at. I will hopefully attempt to show you a brief overview on what we have set up as our different pilot things. But one of those will be our rescue ships. So
yes,
we will have specialty ships built with extra fuel capacity, and their job will be to go rescue you. Now there are cloning abilities, so if you need to explode your ship, then you'll respawn where you have your clone. That is a possibility, but we also have a network inside Outer Empires that was started in Outer Empires 1, and it is coming back in Outer Empires 2. Unfortunately, 100 is currently taking a break from Discord and the game while it's still in testing phases. He pretty much bans the stars.
This one is not yours. This is just for the resident.
Hang on just a second. Okay.
It's for the team of yours. Fidelity, no.
Okay. Family interruptions. All right, we're back. So, Stars is 100's baby project. It's his baby, and all they do is rescue ships. That's what they do. They sell fuel for very cheap. But I don't know when he's coming back to game. He is definitely not on Discord at the time.
Yeah.
So. But those are options if by chance you get initiated into Outer Empires 2 by running out of fuel. Those are some options that you will have available.
It will happen.
Yeah.
It will happen.
So don't immediately explode the ship.
Nope.
Call out for help first. See if there is somebody available. We hope to have alliances with people, so if we're not on game, or one of our rescue ships are not on game, we are hoping that all of our directors. We'll have the fueling coupler, which I will show you here in the game in just a minute, so that somebody can come and save you, because it will happen. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and insert it, or enter the game. It does connect. Sometimes it takes a hot minute, other times it's almost immediate. I do have a few things running so I can show them to you, so it loads a little bit slower. All right, so I chose to start in this station because I wanted to show you a few things first. I am currently in a ship. I am in my merchantman. When you start out, you're basically in a service shuttle. We pretty much help most of our pilots get out of the service shuttle and in to a bigger ship almost
Like a whole.
immediately. Lors, did you want to talk about like the best starter ships for pilots?
Well, yes, yeah. The best starship would be really for the local, like Nalterra system, where more where you'll be doing your jobs, most of your jobs for say the first 10 levels in the game. Is it a hauler, right? It's very easy to upgrade while you're in an alliance, that is. Or I say a faction. So yeah, that would be the best one to do, because then you're looking at more needing fuel and jump range. And that's what you'll need to do through upgrades, which of course I will help you with, since I have more knowledge about it. Once you get to the hauler, you just have to grind for credits to get to the merchant ship, and that's where you really start to take off. Once you get into merchant ship, you'll start getting your XP jobs up with your credit jobs. Anything else? That's the basic.
Think so. I think we'll as Lors mentioned with the upgraded ships, we'll discuss that here in a little bit.
Yeah.
With the research on the colonies. But mainly that is another type of pilot. Is going to be our researchers and builders. And Lors will be in charge of that section of people, because that is what he is extremely knowledgeable in. He's really good in that as well. So I'm going to have him in charge of that. As we have done our testing, we have had a really good ability to kind of figure out between the two of us where things need to be, who would really be good at what type of stuff. Obviously, right now, I am the faction lead, and Lors is my second in command. Our faction, we're gonna have the same policy that we have in Second Galaxy, since we do not have a limitation with the corp numbers. With our faction, we will be a come and go type, laid back. We don't have to kick anybody out to make room for somebody else. Okay, that is not going to be an issue.
That's never been an issue. Never been an issue in OE1. There's no limits. Established limit. Yeah.
So while we have stated in the Second Galaxy that your spot is always here if you come back to game, you literally will always be here until you leave. Okay, so if you choose to have this game be something that you come and do on the weekends, or you log in maybe even once a month, like whatever, that's not an issue. Okay, so we can really do the laid back setup that we absolutely love about Second Galaxy, with it not being a job or a career, because you're not going to get kicked out, you're not going to be removed, your status is not going to be removed. So now, with that said, the people who are going to like your position, your role, may be changing. So like if you are going to be somebody who's only active on the weekends, then we may not have you be a rescuer, right? Because we need
exactly. Somebody's like at least 8 hours or something available.
Now, you may be one of our colonizers or miners, because they only
Which
have
is
to
fine.
log in once a week to check the mine levels
Yeah.
and make sure that they've
Yep.
got stuff in their warehouse. There's
And
roles for everybody, regardless of how often you log in.
yeah,
So,
the game is very versatile in terms of roles. So you're not stuck to one role. So you can always switch over. But as Burry said, there's certain people we know that will be in fixed roles because they'll specialize in that. But anybody else, you can be. If you need help, you can assist with any department that we have in here, and that's perfectly fine. Yeah.
So, just to go over what you see, the graphics, in my humble opinion, are very 90s.
Yeah.
They are the same graphics from Outer Empires 1, which
Yeah.
is early 2000s, if I remember
Yes.
right.
Yeah, 2000, yeah, early 2000s. Like, yeah.
So that kind of explains a lot. It does have a very Eve feel to the layout of it. You can zoom in, but it messes things up visually, because a lot of it's still static. So you start to not be able to see things if you try to zoom in or blow it up. You will notice, though, when I go to the Galaxy button, just like in Second Galaxy, you get to see the entire system. Now you're like, well, that's not very visible. This zoom does work, so you can see the galaxy is quite large. The factions all have colors. Now, one of our other factions, their goal was to get all the way to the center.
We don't discuss
we will not discuss that. We'll just let that one go. They have outposts and star bases to get down there so that they can refuel. Unfortunately, I mean, not star bases, space stations. Unfortunately for us, which is where we're struggling right now, and we'll discuss that a little bit more when we start talking about the resources and whatnot. Space stations are amazing, except for the fact that you can only build up to a class 6, which is not big enough for the ships that we need to PvP with. So, in order to build those size of ships, you need a star base, which goes up to class 8.
Class 8, yes.
And
Class 8.
That requires a crap ton of resources. So let's talk icons, and then we can start talking more of the logistics, because I have spreadsheets and I have some other stuff that I'd like to talk about. So this is just what the galaxy map looks like. You can see that I have open jobs with the open flags. Those are jobs that I need to pick up. I can zoom in a little bit more to make it just a little bit more visible for you. But in we are outside of government system. This is our faction land. At this time, they cannot be attacked. That will change as soon as combat comes into the game. There is some combat, but it's only player versus environment. You can only attack the NPCs. You can attack other pilots when you find them, but this is alpha testing, so they're, lots of space, very few testers. That's not really something that we can do. We've done a little bit of testing around, again, back when 100 was in the game, but he has taken a hiatus, and a lot of our testing there kind of went to prove that PvP is not really in the game yet. We don't have the armor, we don't have everything else. So we will do a separate video on PvP once that enters the game, whether it's in alpha or whether it's when game goes live. They don't even have combat missions yet released. That, we have been told, will be done in alpha. So alpha testing will not be over until they enter the combat missions. It's coming. They're just struggling with some code. They give us a few updates here and there on that sort of stuff, but we do know that alpha testing will not end until the combat missions do become active in game. So we will do a whole different video on PvP at a later time. Just like Eve and Second Galaxy, PvP is a whole nother world into itself. So, right now, stations and colonies are safe. You cannot attack them. We do know that that will be coming. That there's going to be some different stuff set up with that. So, but you can see where your open jobs are, jobs you need to pick up. Those would be what I call open. Drop off is with the flag filled in. They have this beautiful key down here that was requested, by the way. So the seeing of the jobs here, and this key down here, those were all requests for feedback. So the devs do take in a lot of things. There are some things that we would love to see as quality of life that have been told no, and we're like, bummer. So, yeah, you know, but this is one thing that did get implemented that we all extremely love. So that's what my galaxies would look like from the galaxy map. Now, with this open, before we go talk about the other tabs, let's discuss our little circly loops that you can see. This loop right here is basically where I'm at, right? Like that's my ship, okay? So then there's this white circle here. This is how far I can jump from where I'm at. We research jump distances.
Okay.
Oh,
yes.
Lores researches jump
Yes.
distances.
Yes, I've gotten in the habit of doing that. Because Loris sometimes decides to be the curious cat and go beyond the range she's supposed to, and going, oops.
Yes.
I'm stuck up the tree. Come get me.
So Loris likes to get stuck. So the two big things that we do research on almost everything is for holes, for the ship holes, because you can research those as well as the parts. Is the jump radius. So this is my jump radius. Originally, I could not even get to my second without a jump in between. As you can see, that has changed. If I change ships, oops. If I change ships into my Big Bertha, this is my mama ship. She goes and collects things that I spend money on. You will notice I barely can get into Visario. The jump radius is significantly shorter. She is a bigger ship. She obviously cannot jump as far. Okay, so when I'm doing my jobs, and this is why Laura said start with the hauler, but you want to move into the merchant. This is why the smaller ships are ideal for jumps. They are not ideal for hauling cargo or for hauling resources. I do have a prime mover. It is another one that is pretty significant. It will be a lot better when we have more members in the faction and the game is live. We can do that because the cargo capacity for the prime mover is not as much as the strategic mover, but it is a lot faster. It does jump a lot further. So if we have more players and we can meet up, then the ability to carry cargo places is not as necessary. There is also oh lords, what ship is it that we're gonna have that's gonna be our, is it the support ship that we're gonna have?
Support op ships is very ideal versatile until you get your merchantmen, but it has a better capacity. So it's like an in-between ship, like a workhorse.
Yeah, but there was another ship that we are planning to have just sit and be our refueler because the
support ops, yes, support op ships. The Explorer, Deep Explorer can do as well. It has a fuel range. It can do refueling as well.
Okay. There was one specific ship that's huge.
Oh, salvage rig as well. Strategic mover, but not really.
I'll remember it when we're looking at the different types.
I have to look at it.
I will have to look at it again. But there is one that we will have as a refueler, and it will sit for our refuelers. We will have it sit in either a colony or a station that is within a 1 or 2 jump from where most people are in our faction land. That way we can go and refuel. It is not as necessary in government space, which I'll show you here in just a minute. For the simple fact that government space, usually you can get most places without having to worry about your jump range and needing to refuel. So that is my jump radius. Now you will notice as well that there is another ring, wherever it is. There it is. You can kind of see it out here, purple. This is my fuel range, okay? So this will shrink as I jump because I will burn fuel as I jump. You do not burn fuel while traveling inside of a system. Now, I have mentioned how that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Mhm.
Especially in government space, we do have a system, Naltara, which is where right now is where everybody will be starting out. It has 4 stations inside of it. You can travel from station to station to station and not burn any fuel, and that makes no sense to me because you are flying and you are thrusting and burning fuel. So I'm not 100% sure how that doesn't affect the fuel, but at this time it doesn't. So
Mhm.
the only time you apparently burn fuel is when you jump. So as I jump, this ring will go in. So we like to have it as big as possible, especially when we start traveling outside of government space, because we want to be able to get from outpost to outpost to outpost to starbase to whatever we're building. Okay.
And we should, just to interrupt that just for a second, we
Yeah.
should tell what the limit range is almost 25 JS. Ideal is 46
Yeah.
to get to anywhere.
So, well, we have our stuff right now within
Mm-hmm.
30 because of the
Well,
default
36.
changes on things, because that's why we had to build
Yeah.
Visario.
Right.
Theoretically, the jobs should generate within 100 JAS, but they're
Yes.
not. They are only generating between 30 JAS, 30,
Mhm.
30 to 31. So,
Yeah.
like Visario will only have jobs coming back to it. It will not have jobs going out. And the reason why that
Yeah.
kind of upsets and frustrates us is because it's not that way in government space. It is only that way outside of government space.
Giant cover space. Weird. Yeah.
Now, with that also said, as people start building systems in other factions, you can take jobs from other faction stations. So if we went up to our stations up here in Eve or Ternoxion, we could generate jobs from some of NEC stations up here. Okay, so when the game goes live, you know, if we have the same setup that we had, and say somebody came in and made a system or a station here at Eurythia, it's very possible that we would generate jobs from there. Okay, we try not to take jobs that handle from other faction stations because you earn a share of the money made. So we try not to refuel in other people's stations. We try not to take jobs or repair our ships in other faction stations because they get paid when we do. Okay, they make money. Just like in real life, if you go buy something from somebody's store, they're going to get the money. So, that's neither here nor there. It's going to become an inevitable as we're building, but we try not to.
Yeah.
It's one of those we try not to. Just as they try not to purchase stuff from our stations or repair in our stations. So
unless we have some kind of trade agreement
if we have a trade
going on,
which again, there's a lot of alliance style things that could be made in this game. So
and silly politics.
yes.
Inevitable. Yeah.
So our first step, we've done the colony map. We're going to, this is just, I am inside the station right now. So just a quick look at what this
Launch
system map
request
will look
granted.
like so that you can kind of see it. You can point move to locations where you can say, I want to move to this location, go point, and you can move straight there. You can hit thing and you can go to a specific jump area. Or you can go over here and say you want to jump or move to a camp. So if you want to do gate camping, that is possible by
Yeah.
sitting right next to the gate. So if we zoom out on the system map, you will see, kind of where our station is. It is literally right next to a jump, okay? So when we scroll over, anything that's in that area will be a quick jump.
Yeah.
You'll immediately jump to that area. So right here, you'll see this here. The reason why we built it up there, the station up in that area is so that we can immediately jump into our next system over where we have a station there. Okay, so there's a
Can you show them the? Sorry, can you show them the toggle interaction areas? How they intersect with the jump points?
like that.
Yeah. So basically, where you're jumping, you can see the highlighted area and you see the edge of where it is. So if you want to camp, you can kind of position yourself right in that area, and as they jump in, boom, you have them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So gate camping, big thing.
In this game, it is. Yes.
Now, with that said, it is easier to catch a person coming in from a system than going out of a system.
Yes.
Depending on the ship you are, and again, this is something that you can research, the amount of jump charge time. Because when you get to a gate, you have to charge a jump drive. You cannot charge your jump drive until you stop at the gate.
Nothing's instantaneous. Yeah.
So it may take you 2 minutes to fly across the system, but then 30 seconds to charge your jump drive. It depends on the ship. It depends on the research. It depends on the quality of parts.
Yeah.
So many variables. That's why I said PvP, whole different thing in itself.
Yes.
So this is what you're looking at for the different things. You'll notice that all of our stations are going to be near a jump point so that while we may have to fly a long time to get across to go to the next system, we will have two stations, either an outpost and a space station, as it is in this situation. This is a space station so that we have a market. Let me redock here really quick. These are all NPCs granted. That you see flying around. They're not our ships. Space station allows you to have a market. Starbases have a market. Space station class 6 building. Starbase class 8. The difference of requirements for the resources will be shown to you in a few minutes. Hang on. So that is what the dock looks like. This is what a market looks like. I currently have it on resources because of what's required for a starbase. So I've been shopping. But you can change what you want to look at. You can change whether you want to have the local market or if you want to have it for whatever. You can reset everything and it goes and it will show you literally what's in that. I don't usually do the unrefined because then it takes me forever to refine it, and I also have to move the high. Excuse me. This is how you currently buy things. I have requested many times a slider bar so we don't have to hand pipe.
Completed.
That is currently not in the game yet. I keep hoping it will come because this gets old really fast.
Market transaction completed.
So, this is basically what the market is. Your credits are up here. Grinding for credits can take quite a while. We try to make it a little bit easier. So jobs is how you grind the credits. Then when you come over here to this side, you can see what jobs you have. You can only have 8 jobs at a time right now. We have also put in a quality of life request of allowing, as your pilot level goes up, that you can have an increase in job number, or even have a skill that you can research that will allow you to increase the job number you can take. As you see, most of the jobs that I take are all above 20,000. I have a few that are close to 20,000. I don't have my 55,000 in here anymore. I've already done
Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah, switch up.
So this is my bank transactions. You can see what I've completed, what I've done. There's my 51,000. That was yesterday.
Yeah.
So you can see what day you've done it. You can see what's been purchased. This is also how you can transfer credits to the faction or to other pilots. Again, we will have we have a pilot class. The third entire job is just going to be for those who like PvE and nothing else, running jobs and donating credits to the faction so that we can distribute it through all of our players, whether it's to get them new parts, whether it's to help them get colonies set up, whether it's to help them get stuff built. We have so many needs. Everything runs on credits, unlike Second Galaxy, where there's like 50 million income types, credits in this game. So that is, credits is all you'll need to worry about. It just credits. Now we will do some that literally is just transferring credits straight to a pilot, but most of the time we transfer to the bank and then we can redistribute it from there with the leadership team. I was gonna see if I had any shares in here, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like, oh, because I did all of my black card purchases late last night. But you'll see here, ship is any time that you repair your ship. You have fuel for when you refuel your ship. If you complete jobs, salary, this is for my colonies. And it literally does all of the colonies at once for the salary. So you won't see like 50 million of them. It's just one lump sum. The more colonies you have, the higher that's going to be. Let's show you colonies really quick while we're on it. So these are all of my colonies. This is what I am currently building right now. Let it load up. You'll see what a colony looks like. I am not in a colony right now, but I have a remote access built, so I can access my colony regardless of where I am. Highly recommend for everybody who has a colony. Okay, so on the front
What's the
sheet,
commodities?
this is just an overview of the colony. You'll see the colony size. Colony size is literally how many structures you have built. Okay, it's not how many workers you have there. It is just how many structures you have constructed is your colony size. So you see, I have a colony size of 65. It's got more structures. Okay, we have noticed that once a colony hits about 25 to 30, the length of time it takes to open it for it to load all of the information is astronomically different. This has been mentioned to the devs. It is being worked on by the devs. So, as of right now, though, pain in the arse. You will also see how many of your structures are operational. You can see that I have 19 operational, but I'm constructing one. And then you have an overview of how content my workers are. If workers become discontent, they will leave. Okay, this problem. Now you are given a grace period, so you'll notice that some of my positive over my negative. I am very, very much a positive on this one. I have overcrowding problem and food shortage issues because, as you see here, I need 27 food. I only have 18 available. So with that said, since we're there right now, we are going to do a quick jump. One moment. That's not what I wanted to do. Why is that not doing what I wanted to do? Gosh dang it. Maybe I won't be open to it.
Hmm.
I can't.
Yeah, it's bugging out.
No, it's not letting me flip to the like a screen grab.
Oh,
So we're gonna pause real quick, and I will be right back. Okay, we are back. So, had to add a screen in there for it to be able to capture it. So, we can now see we have created a table spreadsheet of I like that. Hang on. We're going to do that. Okay. So you can, if you're building one colony, you can see that you're going to need 11 blue collar workers. This is just base, right? So this is just literally having one mining rig, one refinery, and one research in every one of your colonies. We did just a base number because it's really good. Every colony that you build should be in a system that's going to at least mine one resource. I mean, like there's really no need to not have that there. So, we have done that with just that setup, and it will tell you how many of each flat pack that you need to purchase, and how many of each worker that you need just for one base. If you want to have something that is more than that, like if you want to have 3, it will multiply it across. Okay. Now you can kind of mentally do the multiplications, but if you don't do good in math, that's fine. We have a setup that you can do and fill in by yourself. Eventually, this will all be set up so that you can't touch this stuff. You can only edit in this box, so that way it doesn't accidentally mess up the sheet for other people. But that would be going with our Outer Empires colony site. So you'll see that I have the needs and the available. With the structures, you can view all your structures and scroll through. Right now, it look things that I have in my warehouse. I do have flat packs in my warehouse, but I cannot build them until this one finishes, which has another 5 hours. Okay, so I do have the ability to build more, but you can only build one flat pack at a time. The base construction time is 24 hours regardless. Again, this is something that we've mentioned to the devs on how we feel like a level 1. I mean, like just one structure is 24 hours is quite a good deal of time. There are ways to lessen that. We will eventually be able to research the flat packs so that they also become more efficient. That is not in the game. I mean, it's you can research them, you just can't change anything, if that makes sense. So it's starting to become effective. So you can either do it that way where you just scroll through the entire thing, or if you say, hey, I want to just check my reactors, it will just flip over to your reactors and you don't have to scroll through. So you can see that that's how much time. My workers here, you'll see the commodities that are needed. You'll see this is in green because I have already fulfilled it. You will see where my workers are located, what their wages are right now. I normally like to take mine up to 140%, but I kind of do it based on where they are sitting for the positive and negative modifiers up there. You will also notice that it says allocated and unallocated, so how many of them are not in use. But are in my station, and I leave them there because they will be needed for flat packs, but that is why I have the overcrowding. If you choose to bring in a worker as you're doing things, that's fine. That's totally true. My problem is then I think I have enough habitats and I do not. So I
Mhm.
prefer to have the negative modifiers at the start. Let me see if I have any that need commodities so you can see. I just refilled all of my commodities, so this here is an issue. Well, let me see. Hang on. Let's see if I have it in Sundari. Okay, so here you'll see one allocated, one unallocated. Oh, hey, I have commodities that are red. This is great. I can show you what it is. Okay, apparently I missed dropping off some commodities. But I do not have a white collar that's unallocated. Okay, so if I took a white collar out of my warehouse, stuck it in my ship, and flew off, some of my structures would stop working. Okay,
Yeah.
they most it, the specialist and the white collar both will show one, even though they're needed, and it's because you need it for the main colony, the just that straight command center. You need the specialist and the white collar. But for some bizarre reason, they show as unallocated, even though they're allocated. Because if you take them
It's a
out,
glitch.
yeah,
Yeah.
if you take them out, then it doesn't work. So let's go back to the workers really quick. You can see white is the commodities that I need to get. I always do my commodity order with Lors because Lors kills PVE
Yep.
and collects
That's the
them
thing.
in bulk. So,
Yeah, commodities. Yep.
yes.
Commodities and resources.
So, like I said, Lors and I have figured out kind of what we are really good at. I mainly do the credit driving, and if he needs credits, I kind of let him do that. I also do the bulk purchases of resources for our station, or bulk resource purchases for him to be able to build and research things. So, again, it'll be easier when we have a faction and have a lot of people supplying to that. But that's kind of what I'm talking about, where we already are starting to build that faction breakup so that you can see the differences and stuff. The red means that it expired. Now, it will say that it was requested a few moments, or it's requested in a few moments. Doesn't matter how long it's been or if it's passed, it will say a few moments.
Yeah.
That's it. It won't ever change. It could have been requested 3 days ago, and it will still say a few moments. This, though, however, does lower, so you can see I have 3 days left. You can see how many I need. So that's a really good look at that. Now, the structures, in this one, I do have the manufacturing and research labs here, because I had been doing the cargo pods and the fuel. No, not the fuel pods. I had been doing the cargo pods and the scanners.
Yes. Yes.
However, the needs of our starbase became so great that I cannot focus on multiple things. Again, why a faction is phenomenal, because I can say, hey, I'm going to focus on this. You take care of everything else. So I do have it, though, so I can show you. Eventually, we will have another video when Loris' equipment is not being dumb. And
Yes.
he can show you a lot more
Yes.
in depth on things that you research. I'm just going to go over the brief overview, and then I'm going to kick it over to Loris to see if he wants to add anything. So you'll select a blueprint. I have a ton of blueprints in my station. Mainly, I focused on the cargo holds and the scanners. Oh, I was also doing weapons. So I have the torpedo and the torpedo launcher.
Mhm.
So with the torpedo launcher, then you can decide what you want to change. The acceleration of the torpedo, the accuracy of the torpedo, how many that you manufacture every time you use that blueprint. FYI, blueprints do not disappear in this game like they do in Second Galaxy. Okay?
Yeah.
You can
Yes.
build off of a blueprint forever. You can sell a blueprint. You can copy the blueprint and sell the copy of the blueprint.
Yeah. You can sell a downgrade copy of the blueprint and just keep your faction only blueprints. Yeah, you can sell blueprints, but
you can eventually will be able to make royalty off of blueprints. So if somebody else changes
yes,
it and makes it and sells it, whatever, you get royalty off of it. So
and you'll be able to name it as well.
yes, so there's a whole blueprints researching. That all will be a whole thing in itself. Um, the PvP gonna be a whole thing in itself. This game is very sandboxy to the point where you can take a little area and do whatever you want with it. Um, we'll have, like I said, we'll have piloting types, but even in those piloting types, you guys aren't going to be put into a box. Like, you can take
No.
your pilot style and say, hey, this is what I'm going to do, but how you do it is going to be completely up to you. Like, we're not going to dictate how you run your researching or whatever. Now, we may have orders put in, whether it's from us or other factions, say, hey, I need this in a missile, and
Mhm.
we'll throw it out to our researching team. Be like, who wants to take this project? Okay.
Mhm.
So that is going to be one thing. Now, the cargo volume size, that's negligible. There are going to be parts that we just don't need to worry about at all. So, that's interesting. I'm not seeing that
Mhm.
fall on the video. We'll see if that actually shows up or not. But yes, so you can select the statistic that you want to improve. So that is on the research side. On the manufacturing side, you will be able to select which blueprint you want to build. Maybe.
Yeah,
Let's just
anything.
go with a cargo expansion thing. You will then see what resources you need to build it, which is again why we're going to have the different piloting types, because I don't want my researcher builder people to have to worry about needing the resources. So I will have my miners make sure that they have those, and then we will have specific people who will transport them back and forth, or you guys can communicate and transfer them back and forth. But you can change the number that you make, and but you will need to do the math on what you need, because even changing the number here, it doesn't change the number up here. That would be really nice if it does. It does not right now. We will see if that changes. Okay. Anything else that you can think of in the colonies that need to be mentioned right now?
Oh, you've covered the basics that they actually need for now until we get to the advanced stuff. There you go.
All right, so you can see your cargo hold. You'll see that this is what's in the warehouse. This is what's in my ship. I have nothing in my ship right now. If I wanted to move cargo, I would slide it over in. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do that so that you can see me fly here in a minute. Yard is where you can do your repairs. You can also repair your ship when you get to the hangar and dock. Sometimes it is best to repair here, just so you can see what it is that's causing the problem. Like if you've got something that's an issue. Okay. Um, we talked about the ship. You can see your percentage type for my stuff. I did not want to move that into that thing. I'm glad I looked at
Mm-hmm.
that. Hang on, I'm still in my strategic mover and I don't want to be in that.
No.
Let me go to Mama Bird. Okay, let's try moving that cargo again. Oh, look, I had stuff in my ship. Good thing I moved. Okie dokie. So now my cargo is in my ship. So you will see we just overhauled my merchantman not that long ago, so you'll see that most of my stuff is pretty good. We do almost everything in mil spec. This is military spec. There are different types of parts. Junker is exactly that. It's junker. The standard is basically, it's cheaper, and I mean, like, it's the average. It's like a C. You like when you get a C on a test and you just
Yeah.
did okay.
Yeah.
High spec we try to
Exactly.
stay away from because while it is cheaper, wear and tear is horrific on it.
Yeah.
It would be
Definitely
better
takes
to go
during research.
standard over high spec.
Yeah.
Military spec is the most expensive, but it also the quality and the wear and tear rate is the best. So
That's phenomenal. Yeah.
we attempt to go with that again. We normally get the blueprints, Lors researches it, and then we'll build it, and then I will buy it from him. So these yellow numbers beside is evolution level, okay? And you can see like our evolution level, we have the maximum jump drive is 47 on this evolution.
Right.
Now, you will also notice this wonderful thing when you open up a part and hit info, you can't hit close. Okay, you have to close the entire thing because that's that. Let's talk pilot. Okay, here you will see we love this. The active time is the amount of play time. This is not the amount of time that you're actively playing it. It's just how often that the web browser is open. This will change when it becomes downloadable. Okay. You will see that I just leave my browser open 90% of the time, so it just stays open. However, it claims that it's been 9 months and 39 weeks. I don't know any months that have 39 weeks except in Outer Empires 2. So yeah, that's that. I will state that we have been testing this testing phase. It's April of last year.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So we're currently like 15, 16 months into this alpha phase.
Yeah.
It is running behind schedule. Again, it is running behind schedule because they're having issues with that military, the combat missions and stuff like that. And we were told that would definitely be done before this testing phase ended. So this rank is basically your experience, okay? So as you, if you looked at the jobs, you'll see that it has the payment, the distance, and then the experience that you gain from it. Some don't ever do surveys, by the way, because they don't offer you pretty much anything as far as payment or experience.
Yeah.
But you will notice that some of my stuff, like this job down here, which is phenomenal and I can't grab because I already have 8 jobs, has 35, almost 36,000 credits that it's paying me, but the experience is 11.6. Okay, 11,000 for an experience is phenomenal. This is like leveling up in Eve or Second Galaxy, where you can change ranks. Although I thought, did we decide 50 was the highest?
Yeah, at the moment, yeah.
So I am getting very close to the maximum, which then goes to skill points. Skill points, you get 1 point for every level you are. I have already been building on mine. We are currently working on a skill list and what piloting type, because you will not have forever number of skill points. Just like in Second Galaxy and Eve, you have to specialize on what you want, okay? It is also imperative that you do not speed up your skill points. We have been testing around with that here in the testing phases because everything's going to reset and it's not going to matter in the live game. But to get a feel on how many skill points you technically have, each skill point or each thing takes different number of skill points. So you just to unlock it costs skill points. Okay, so even just to unlock to open a skill to research is going to take skill points. Once you have unlocked it, it unlocks all of them that's underneath that category. So for colonies, people who are going to specialize in colonies, we are going to suggest that you, okay, the flat pack cost, not going to be so much of a concern for our colony builders, because we are going to have our researchers be focusing on researching and evolving the flat packs, and they will sell them for cheap. So that won't be as big of a concern. Now, reducing the colony structure power and the build time, those are going to be big things for our colony people.
Yes.
Okay. Then for those who are our researchers and builders, the colony operations, where you can increase the refining rate, which I need to do for my freaking a couple of them anyway.
Yep.
Reducing of the research time, increasing of the mining time. So we will list these, and again, like I said, we're not going to sandbox you. We're going to tell you what the different things are that we need you to specialize in, and you can do your skills how you feel it would help you out the most. Okay. There's the one that I feel everybody should do some on is the entrepreneur, and that is increase the credits that you get for jobs and increase the experience. The experience is going to be big early on, because it's going to help you level up faster, okay, because you're going to get more experience out of it. The researcher obviously will want to have some of the research products. I will have this in a spreadsheet that will be much easier for you to view, because not all of the skills are in the game yet. We have a whole PvP section that is not in the game, as far as skills that are available. I think I have covered the assistant. This just lets you know what all is where. You can see that I did some black card purchases again.
All right.
So, you can see where you have different things though, okay? Mail is literally that. You see when you have power issues, when you've sold things, who you've sold things to.
Yep.
You'll see here that Lore's bought specific credits from me, okay? You can also message pilots. There we go. So you can see everything that is from the system, such as selling things, researching complete, blah blah blah. That's all going to be under system messages. Here you can see piloting stuff. It would be amazing if we had a filter so that you could filter just the pilot email, so you don't have to go through here and search. That's not in the game yet. Maybe not ever. I don't know yet. So that's there. You can also compose with here. Let's say you only remember part of the name. If you type in like, well, that doesn't work. There. So if I type it, if I know some of his name, it will pull in his name. So I don't know why 100 isn't. I don't know why that's not pulling up. Okay, anyway. But yeah, so you can pull in pilot's name that way. The faction. So we have our faction with our motto and our description. Our bank account right now is really low because we used it to, we're using it right now. So it's not just filling up. I am using pretty much every credit, but we have had a lot in there because we bought a starbase, and starbases are not cheap. Just to give you an idea of a starbase, spaceship build packages, whole market. So you can see the outposts are usually right around 1 million, space stations are right around 9 million, starbases are around 100 million. Okay, so we did have 100 million in there at one time because that's what I just stashed credits in there and we built a starbase. Okay. Why is it not showing what the needs are of the starbase from here? That's
Should.
It's not.
We're glitching.
Alrighty, so let's go ahead. Before we move on, those are just all the aspects there. We're gonna do a quick jump. Real quick at the top here, you can see where you can change your settings. You can see where you can submit a bug, and you can log out. Okay. Again, logging out while you're in space, 5 minutes before your ship disappears. Okay. Keep that in mind. So we're gonna launch our ship.
Launch request granted.
You will see all of the different primary checks. Everything needs to either be in a warning state or pass. If it is anything else, it won't fly. Okay.
Yeah.
So I am going to go to our next door system again. As I showed you on that galaxy map or on the system map, you could see that I'm right next door, and you'll see that it doesn't even move. Right.
Plotting jump route.
I just immediately started jumping. All right. That is why we have our system set up the way we do right now. We will likely have
jump drive engaged.
Set up when we have the game. We'll have two systems that are stations that are built together. So, jump drive or the jump charge on my merchant is pretty good. So it doesn't take that long to fly. I am going to go ahead and this is to fly and dock. Okay, this is just to move to. Alrighty, so I want to fly and dock. Unlike Second Galaxy, there is no warp protection here. Like, I'm not flying in unprotected. I can be shot at any time. At any time during this. I do not have a shield on this ship. Honestly, because I don't care enough. There's not enough pilots in the game for me to be too concerned about it. Most of the people in the testing phase right now are just trying to figure out where things are, how long things take to build, etc. So while this is flying, we are going to flip over to the other spreadsheets. Because we did the colony types. So flipping over here. Oh, that did not show anything. All right, minor brain fart with my computer. It's fine. Okay, so this spreadsheet that I have built just literally lists all of the different types of resources there are. We do plan on typing in the type of resource it is so that you can learn what type of scanner to use. However, we have discovered at this time that using the basic scanner with the skills set for increasing the vein or whatever mining time, or increasing the scan, and then researching the scanner itself, seems to be just fine. The different scanners don't seem to make much of a difference at all, as far as what resources are in the system. If it's in the system, the basic one is going to find it. We had thought that if you used specific types that it would find something that was not in there found by the basic. This is not the case. Okay, so this literally talks about the different types. So these exotics, however, cannot be mined. Okay, they have to be manufactured. So for the transuranic, that uses the transuranic volatiles, and I'm missing one. There's a translanthanic that uses the lanthanides. So there's several that I don't have all of the resources listed here. I'm just looking at it going, there's not all of them there. But anyway, they have to be manufactured with other things. Okay, so there's that. Government systems. So government systems on the system map was blue. If you had seen me flying, then you would have seen that they turned blue. We'll show you a little bit more in depth. This lets you know whether they are outposts, space stations, or star bases. Again, this is important when you need to build things, because you cannot build anything in an outpost. An outpost literally is a market and a repair shop. That's it. You can pick up jobs. You can't you can't do anything else. You can't even like exchange parts on your ship at a you need to have a yard there, and you don't have a yard in the outposts, and you will see that there is a lot of outposts. You will also make this important because when you are purchasing and needing to fly into, you can only purchase things from a market, which means any of the outposts will not, I mean, like, I'm sorry, the outposts don't have markets. They have fuel and repair. So, and you can do jobs. Okay. Jobs, fuel, repair. That's it. Space stations and star bases will have your marketing. So when you want to sell things, when you want to buy things, they will all have to be done at a space station. So they are going to be the ones. These are going to be the ones you want to build that reputation level up to 100. Okay, because you're gonna need to go back. You want things at a good price. I have not updated my list in a while for what my rep level is at them. I built it, but this will be something that you guys will be able to see, but you will not be able to edit. Okay, so then you have the commodities. This is so you can see what all commodities they need and what type they are. Okay, this will be important for people who are starting to think about what type of colony they're building, whether it's a mining building, a mining colony. If it's a mining colony, you're likely going to need a lot more of the mining commodities.
Yes.
The things that you may want to start stocking up on because you'll need them often. So, those are just things that are helpful. It's going to be there for you if you want. If you're like lures and you just kill NPCs and collect a whole bunch of them, then you may not even need to worry about it. It may just you just fill the commodities as you need them. Okay.
Yeah, it's very rarely that I have to buy commodities because I'm usually taking out prime movers and strategic movers who usually have the commodities and resources.
Yeah. All right. So full system scan information. This is every system there is in the entire game. Okay. The moon type. I do believe the best moon type you're wanting for a colony is G. However, with that said, you need to have resources in there that make it worth having a colony. Now, with that said, if you're just doing researching and building, you may want to build a colony that is in a G system, just so that you have the GSI. Is it the GSI? Is that the word I'm looking for?
GSI.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Workers. Yes, the World GSI. If you have the World GSI that's better, your workers are going to be happy. Not super important, but it would be nice if you're looking at doing a large building and researching colony and you have other people bringing resources into you. Okay, so we have done some planet scans, which you can see in this one. And you can see what resource, like the scans are, so if we did by system, you can see that we have all the systems, we have the different planet numbers, what product we pulled from there, the amount that it pulls up, whether it's high, medium, or low. Okay, we do not like the low quality levels. It takes forever to refine them. So high is our preference. That is what we will be primarily focusing on when we are doing our colonies for mining and refining. Now, with that said, I was going to show you the difference. So, this is everything that's needed for like an outpost, the minerals and whatnot needed, while Starbase has like a lot more. Okay. I was going to see if one moment. check something. There was supposed to be. I do not know if that's working though or not. Pause for a moment. All right. So since I don't have Laura's ability to stream right now, we're just gonna pull it up this way.
Yeah.
So this right here shows you everything that is needed for a starbase and why it's taking us forever, because you need 6 million of heavy noble gas and you need 6 million of regular noble gas. So like this is our other part. So you need 6 million of the regular noble gas, and these that you cannot mine, you have to manufacture 500,000 of. It's astronomically huge. This is for the starbase, okay? So you will see up in here, we have our piloting classes. We have the combat, the scouts, the scan reportings, the researching, miners, expansion experts, haulers. Our expansion efforts, we've got what outpost needs are, okay? So an outpost is very simple to make comparatively, you know, this is a space station. Again, it is comparatively smaller than the starbase. So those are all things that we will have in our file of information that is good. So let's go back to okay. So we can refuel right here, right? Okay. So that is literally just a flying. I'm going to go ahead and drop jobs off by hitting the check mark. You could slide it over if you want. For me, that's too much work. I like to just slide. Okay. So that is that. Let us show you really quick what government space looks like. This is all government space up here. Okay. So that's all government space. Lors, is there anything that I've forgotten that we want to add into this video on different things that are coming with this game? Things that we would like to see, or
The warehouse, faction warehouse.
Oh, well, we want to see a faction warehouse, yes.
Yeah, guaranteed want that for sure. The stuff with the actual colonies, being able to land on the colonies and grab the resources from there. That'd be ideal, but
people's colonies would be nice.
Yeah, that too, but that I doubt that's even gonna happen. So that's kind of like a wish more than anything else. Anything else? Just see. It's more. If I could get my stream going, I could show them how to do the actual makeup for the shipbuilding, right?
Yeah, we'll have to
do some
that
dots.
later, though.
Yeah.
We'll see how things go. We may just do it in November.
Should have the starbase done by then.
I hope so. This starbase is making me want to cry.
Yes, it is.
So,
The amount of resources we're pulling.
Yes, it is.
This thing.
And we're slaving quite diligently on it. As far as we know, no other faction has a starbase either, so that just kind of lets you know exactly how big of a project it really is.
Yeah, deal, yeah. Anything else? Plating.
I mean,
Perfect understanding.
obviously, those watching, if you have any questions, you can definitely comment on this video um, and post them there. We can be found in both Lors and I can be found in Discord. OE2 does have a Discord that you can join from their page, from their website. You cannot access this game right now at all, even to see it, unless you are in the testing. It is all specific key enabled. So you can join us in that Discord and ask questions there. If you're interested in joining AOA, we can invite you into our AOA Discord. We also have a gaming Discord where we it's just all games. So you can join us there. We have a channel for the AOA testing where you can talk in there, but I would strongly suggest using the OE2 Discord where Paul and Rob can answer questions more in depth since they're the ones working on it. But yeah, those are options. Comment on the video, or join us, or both. You can do both. Both is fine. Both is good.
Perfect. Yes, please.
We are looking forward to the game, especially since our second love of Second Galaxy is getting ready to bid us adieu in 8 weeks. So we're hoping that we are hoping, Lors and I are hoping to have this starbase built in time, so that way we can see exactly how long. We do know that for 2 people to build a starbase, it takes a freaking long ass time. Okay, we do know that.
Yes. Stations, no problem. Outposts, no problem.
Yeah, outposts, we can get one built within 2 to 3 days tops. Space station,
a couple,
took us about, I think it took us a month.
Yeah.
Maybe 5 weeks. But we also did not have the colonies built up that we have now.
No.
So it may even be less than that now. But there
plus
is
the hub systems as well that require the resources.
Yeah, there's just a far cry difference between a starbase and a space station and a starbase. The jump from 1 million resources, 2 million resources to 6 is an extremely large
crazy.
jump.
Yeah, crazy.
I'm not sure I agree with the difference between the 2 million to 6 million, like that ratio. I'm not sure I really agree with that, for the simple fact that you're only looking at having 2 class size differences between the 2 that you're building.
Plus, there are no Class 8 ships in the game.
Yeah.
None until it's live.
So, Lors, in OE2, what was the max pilot level? Was it 50 there too, or did they have it up?
They had up to, like, I think it was 100.
Okay.
If I remember. Yeah, because I remember when I ended, I was at 75.
All right.
Yeah, I ended up at 75. Even then, at 75, the way they had the skill points in terms of piloting ships, right now, there's no limit to what you can pilot, but once the game goes live, I think they're going to implement levels for piloting skills. So there's only certain ships you have to have a certain level in order to graduate and pilot that ship.
Yes.
So I ended up piloting battle cruisers when I was trying to do dreadnoughts, and I never was able to get a dreadnought in time until the game ended. So there's such a crazy XP level.
Yeah.
To get to that level.
A lot of those things will change and adjust as they become active in the game. With it being alpha, we're playing a lot more with it. I mean, with the chats, you'll notice that at the time, chat does not save, just like Second Galaxy. You don't have any saving of what was in the chat. That is supposed to be changing.
Mhm.
I think they're trying to figure out exactly how they want to do it based on whether X number of messages prior or whether it's an X period of time prior was showing. I'm not really for sure. I do know that that was discussed though. We do have a faction chat. You have like a whole help channel for new pilots who just want help or need refueling or whatever. Normally,
Yep.
Stars watches that to kind of get people in there. You have your system chat, and then you have your combat, the log from all of
Mhm.
that. So I don't normally chat. I mean, that's just never been something that I've been into. You can minimize it, so then you can just see just that small little box, and you can also make it semi-invisible. Okay. So when you're in battle, you can try to take that off of your visibility. So otherwise, I think that's everything. I know this has been a really long video.
Mhm.
I can't think if there's anything else that we're missing
No.
right now on.
Yeah. Nothing else for now.
Yeah. So like I said,
That's
if you
about
have
it.
any questions or if you want to see something more in depth or if you want to hear something more in depth, shoot us a comment. Join us on OE2 Discord. I will put a link in the description for the game's site so that you can get set up on the testing. And you can kind of see where things are going on because he does update. Paul also does demos whenever you desire, as long as he is awake. He is UK time, so just
Yep.
keep that in mind.
Mhm.
And he pretty much does weekends on his own. He does more of the OE2 stuff during the week.
Yep.
So, but with that said, there are other people who can answer questions in the Discord channel,
Games.
the devs, as far as that sort of stuff.
Yep. Yep.
They keep
Mhm.
normal business hours. So,
Yep.
with that said, we will bid adieu for now. So it's Birdie and Lors signing off for AOA.
Yep.
And we will
Yes.
chat later.
Later. Toodles.